Glad to be here. Look forward to it.
This is great. I've been looking forward to this all day. Well, really, I've been trying to get you on for a while, and we finally got you on. We had the schedules aligned, and this is cool, man. Thank you for coming on and doing this.
Oh, my pleasure. It's this is going to be fun. I read through your playbook today and your resume and all that good stuff, and I think we're sort of compadres on kind of what we like about football. So that was very interesting.
Well, thank you for looking through that. I mean, yeah, I'm contrarian, so that's what I want to do. I want to be
Yeah,
contrarian. I want to run the football. I'm an offensive lineman at heart, so that's just what we want to do. Is us old offensive linemen. Let's go run the ball and
yeah,
beat the
yeah.
thing.
RPO, run people over.
Yeah, run people over, run power often. Like we ran some RPOs years ago, but now I'm just like, man, just run the ball. Just run the ball down people's throat. That's what you
Yeah,
want to
yeah. I
do.
mean, what I figured out at the youth level, I mean, these offenses from the early football where it's just run, run, power really work well. And that's what I've been about. And I'm an old lineman from Pee Wee and a defensive guy. So I'm about power and ball control, time clock management, all that good stuff. So
That's awesome, Coach. So for the listener who doesn't know, give a little background about yourself, then we'll go from there.
I'm Coach Parker, also Steve Parker, but I've been coaching youth football since '94. Uh, I guess my small claim to fame is the Power Wing Beast offense, which I just kind of lucked into in '94 when I was coaching a Plano Sports Authority team, trying to find an offense that worked. Uh, Not my high school offense, which was a Power I. That wasn't working for these little 8-year-olds. It kind of came up with the beast. But before that, I'm from Texas. Grew up in DFW Metro and Houston Metro. Played football around 10 years in Houston. Went to A&M. Uh, Played 2 years for the handball team and racquetball club teams, and actually went to a national tournament for handball. I think in 90, excuse me, like 85 or something for the national team. But I've been an athlete all my life. Let's see, after college, did a bunch of adult flag leagues and did some rugby and got into that. And then I was working at EDS, which was a General Motors subsidiary, the Ross Perot company. Very high end type A guys. We were all there. We were playing a lot of flag. And a friend of mine uh, knew that I was a football guy and said, "Hey, I have a friend at Plano Sports Authority, which was the big youth group in Plano, that has a team, but knows nothing about football. And we'd love you to come over and coach the team with him, basically take over the team, and he'll handle the parents." And I'm 29, 30, no kids, just got married. And I'm like, well, that'll be fun. So I called this friend of mine from high school that I played middle school, high school ball from and said, "Hey, let's go coach this team and see what happens." And we had a great season, figured out what the beast was. Uh, we almost beat the Super Bowl winning team that had been around for a while in a double overtime, just lost because I was passing and they wound up winning the Super Bowl. But we won coaching staff of the year that season because we almost beat two
Oh,
of the top
geez, look at
teams
you.
being a brand new team. And yeah, we almost did the whole shebang. So that was a lot of fun. Got hooked. That hooked me. It's like a little chess game with little kids, and loved it. And unfortunately, I moved to Colorado with my bride in '95, right after that season, to go ski and have a good time in Colorado and ski and all that good stuff. And but I did come back to draft and put that other team together, and they went on to win the Super Bowl that season in '95. So that was pretty interesting. I think there's a professional pitcher that went on from that team to play pro. But yeah, so then I went to Colorado. I've had kids, restarted coaching football in 2006 through 2009 in Colorado, the Arvada Midget Football League, which is now Arvada Youth Football League, and met a lot of guys there after beating them with the beast they started running the Beast, and I'm friends with them now over my Facebook group, which was kind of crazy. One of them just wrote a book that I helped him publish about
Mhm.
mega splits and the Beast. So it's very weird that those guys have kind of followed. We've kind of followed each other for so long. 2009 came back to Texas, started coaching again here in Keller, and have coached here since 2009. And wrote the Beast formation book, Power Wing Beast Offense, in 2017. Wrote the 6-2 multi-8 Pirate Defense book in 2016. And I wrote those for myself from about 2010 to the 16, 17, and wasn't going to publish those. Kind of like your nice playbook that I just read. You know, you've got it for yourself and to use for you and your coaches. But I was writing the blog since 2008, coaching, youth football at coachparker.org. And I had all these guys going, can you sell this to us? We want to buy it. You know, we'd like to buy it. So I was like, well, I guess I should
Mhm.
do it. So that's how I started selling playbooks. I was giving away or just providing this information on my website from 2008 to 2016. You can still find almost everything in my playbooks, those two particular playbooks on the website. So started selling those, and then I've written about 15 to 16 other playbooks, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm semi-retired. I focus on coaching and focus on writing these playbooks, and youth football has been my passion. Was used to be a big golfer, big racquetball guy, but once youth football took over, I was hooked, and that's pretty much my passion now.
That's so cool. And yeah, that playbook actually was put together by a guy, the one I shared with you from the 2022 season, named Kyle McElvaney. He's a big power T. He came and clinicked with us and installed it for that season. A lot of carryover to the Beast. That's like offense. I find that there's a lot of similarities
Well,
in
what
those two styles.
even what's interesting is Poltark. That is it. Poltark, the power T guy. I've talked to him a couple of times. I wrote my T formation book. He was
Mhm.
kind of a source that I used for that. But every the Beast formation, the Beast tight, is based on the Yale single wing. And the Yale single wing's not really a single wing, but they kind of call it that. I think just because it's old, it's like, oh, this
Right.
is a single wing. But it actually came from some weird mistake in a Yale game versus Harvard, which it was a tackle over, and the T formation is the oldest formation. A lot of people don't know that, but it was
Hmm.
a Yale T, and for whatever reasons, the quarterback or something told them to go down on the line with the tackle behind the other line, and they came
Oh my
and they
gosh.
they came by accident into this formation. And it
Oh wow.
actually, so when you say it's very close to the T, it is because it is from the Yale T. Is they
Hmm.
just moved down. So if you see those three backs just move down to the line of scrimmage.
Right. Hey, you
And
were behind me, but move over this way for this play. Like
yeah,
what?
yeah.
You
I
know?
mean,
Oh, okay. Cool.
it's yeah. It was. I guess the book. I forget what it's a Yale book on Yale football. I guess they kind of did it around Walter Camp and thought they would just try it. You know,
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
yeah, and they wanted to try it, and they kind of tried it, and it worked, and then it kind of like, okay, this is how it's gonna go. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
background there. So if you see a resemblance to it, it's from that.
Hmm. I mean, I think all 32 personnel is beautiful. You
Yeah,
know, three backs, two tights. I mean, that's to me, that's the most purest form of football. Is
yeah.
let's just get after it in this
I,
personnel package.
I mean, I grew up in Wishbone and Power Eye in the 70s and 80s. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's kind of my deal. And you've got all the blocking backs. And for youth football, it's great, especially at kind of a rec level. I mean, you're not really getting the athletes. I don't even think a lot of the high schools get the athletes they should have to run a spread or a gun tee kind of
Hmm.
thing, where everybody can catch the ball, the quarterback can throw and run, and then you can
Right.
actually block and pull. I mean, that's such a
Mhm.
luxury to get. Now, some stacked travel teams you can probably put that together, but I would say for the majority of us, I'm lucky a lot of times if I have a quarterback that can take the snap, you know.
Or a center that can gun snap,
Oh well,
like that's a
well, yeah,
luxury sometimes too, right?
yeah, that's exactly the main point there. Yeah, if you could shotgun snap, that's great, and if you could do it consistently, you've gotten lucky with that. And then if you get lucky and they can directional snap, which I've been lucky with too, then it really becomes a lot of fun. But
H
that's
how do you
all
teach
luck.
that? How do you teach the directional snap in your
Well, the
beast, like,
first
for
thing
the
is they already,
offset?
yeah, so that they have to be already a good shotgun snapper. That's the first thing because you just can't take it. And in this next part is really it becomes, I would say it's kind of like, on a defensive player, some players are naturally ball hawks and they just have this natural instinct. It's kind of like this directional snap. So if you want to snap, to the left, that ball goes over toward your right foot and you kind of your feet kind of go
Oh, okay, I like that.
offset. Yeah, it's kind of a semi offset, not a whole lot, but the ball just comes over and they shoot it. And we're trying to shoot it into kind of the A gap almost to the hip of that guard. Now
Okay,
we had a center
okay.
that could do like almost a gap and a half, but he was like
Hmm,
the perfect kid that could snap the ball. And he was, you know, a lot of little peewee guys, they don't really want to snap the ball. That's a hard position. I played it for a
mhm,
couple of years, and it's you get beat up. But he was really set on being the best center he could, and he focused on it. His dad, they practiced it, and that's really where that has to come from. Is that you've got the drive to do it. Now, I've tried to teach some kids that were semi good at shotgun snapping, and it just doesn't work out. They're not as consistent, so we move back just to regular shotgun snap.
mm. Okay, yeah, I guess so you can run the beast without the offset
Yeah, I can
quarterback.
run. Yeah, the thing about the beast, what I like, and I do it a lot, is I can run the beast under center, I can run the beast in shotgun, and I can run the beast offset. And it doesn't really hurt it as much. I mean, if you can directional snap and do that offset, it's awesome because
Mhm,
you're already one gap over from the backside. But I've run under center in the beast tight formation, which is really more of the Yale thing where the backs are really behind the line of scrimmage. The cool thing about that is the angle to get to the quarterback is weird from the D end, and it's almost easier for the defense to get him in shotgun than it is under center because of the
mhm,
angle he's got to swing around on.
mm,
So that's kind of interesting there. Plus, he's hidden under the center. That's why the wing T guys are always under center because they hide the quarterback.
mhm. I've had people talk about gun wing T and all that, but I think when you move from under center, you lose the deception piece a little
Yes,
bit,
you
right? You
do.
can't
I
hide the
totally
ball.
agree.
Like it's harder to for the deception takes a hit. Now there's other things that are better, but the deception of it's not as good.
Yeah. So my claim to fame with the Beast is I run Beast Tight, which is kind of like a real Yale variation where the three linemen are right behind the tackle, the two tackles in the end. So they're touching the linemen almost. Almost it's
Mhm.
almost like they're humping them, so they're so close because we
Right.
want them to help push the line out of the way. And then for that formation, I like to go under center because I don't want to lose any yards. And so when
Mhm.
I do beast tight under center or buck under beast under center buck, the goal is for that back never to lose any yards and always to fall forward and either get 0 or 4 to 5 yards. And if he's up
Okay.
on that line of scrimmage, we can almost guarantee he's not going to lose those yards. Now, when
Mhm.
you go to wide, which we just spread those guys out to the tight end and they're still close together, then, if we're kind of wanting to go more sweep options, so the shotgun kind of works there. We'd kind of
Mhm.
like that better, but you can still run it under center with the sprint out. It still works pretty good. Now, when you go to the double wide where they're spread out into like a trips quads thing, you definitely want to go in shotgun because we're passing pretty
Mhm.
much out of that and run is secondary. So
Mhm.
that's kind of we're doing that. But like you said, under center is really deceptive, especially if you have a small, scrappy beast back that's
Mhm.
hard to see. He
Hard to
can
find them.
pop. Yeah, he pops, which is crazy because because we rotate those backs through those various beast formations, and everybody's asking me, "Oh, you're going to get your quarterback hurt because you just run him on every play." No, those backs we have we have a whole rotation and how that works.
Oh, okay. Okay. See, that
Yeah,
was going to be one of my questions is how do you not like tire that guy out so we can't
yeah. So
move?
there's like a rotation between those main four formations, and then I have a stepchild called Fat Cat or Fat, which is kind of a single wing beast hybrid. And
Mhm.
there's just so in the beast type, which is where the backs are close to the line of scrimmage, and you've got kind of a fullback. Or maybe like a Tim Tebow kind of quarterback. He's like a fullback quarterback, and he's big.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Or for we found some reason that these small, scrappy kids that can weasel their way through holes like a pinball and not get they can kind of bounce off of people and then pop are really
Mhm.
good. So you may get a blitzer like that on defense that just knows how to get that same kind of kid in that beast type works out well. So a big
Mm.
QB fullback kind of guy or a scrappy little back is really good in beast tight. In beast wide, now you can go more to a was it who's the Saints? Is it the did he play with the Saints? Tyson Hill, that
Oh
Wildcat?
yeah, played everywhere, like every
Yeah, that plays
formation known to
everywhere.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that kind of back is great in the beast wide or worm formation where he's kind of backed
Mhm.
up when we're doing sweep options and going down. Or you can put a real quarterback in there that can kind of run. Or you can put your fullback there again and just run him up the middle. So you can rotate. So those two packages have two or three different guys that can rotate in based on what they do the best. And then
Mhm.
in jumbo, which is kind of that quad spread or the double wide beast, is you can have a legit quarterback because now you're throwing a lot more, or you
Mhm.
can have that, wildcat back that can run, or you can have like a Tariq Hill that can just run a sweep as fast as he can, which works out great in youth football. You just get your
Right.
fastest dude in that formation and have him run to
Mhm.
the outside and he's probably gone. It's like a kickoff. So
Mhm.
that's like the back rotation. And then in the stepchild, which is fat or fat cat, you can have a multitude of power, quarterback, juke backs kind of thing and go through that whole
Mhm.
rotation there. So it's always interesting to me because it's in the playbook about you can rotate that
Mhm.
the folks that don't go through the playbook hard or they only see things on the internet, they don't understand there's this whole back rotation. And
Mhm.
that's like a couple of guys are always like, well, this doesn't really teach anything that goes to high school. But I would say my backs are probably touching an under center shotgun snap and learning how to do that more than any other team that doesn't run the beast because of the way we
Right.
rotate.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm working through your playbook, so I did not get to that yet. I've been reading it since you sent it to me, and yeah, I think it's so interesting how people will say stuff like that that's not true. Like, oh, this doesn't correlate to high school. I'm reading your stuff and I'm going, you could run this at the high school level. You really could. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
it's not like it's just a youth league offense. You could run it at the high school level.
Yeah, and a lot of guys that start, what's funny is in 2008, everybody was just laughing at me. I mean, I remember the Denver guys, Arvada guys from 2006 to 2008, when I was running over all those guys, didn't laugh anymore. When I
Right.
got when I got to Fort Worth again, and back to Texas and started running this, all these guys were laughing at me, going, "What are you doing?" Until the first season that we installed that I was the offensive coordinator, we went to the Super Bowl and beat two of the main teams. We were a 5-3 number 4 seed, and we went through the two top teams in the playoffs and won the whole thing
Mm,
with the beast. And I was
right,
trying to
right.
install at first like my speed wing T double wing, and that didn't go over well. So I had to go back to the beast, and we were running like 6 to 8 of the main beast plays.
Hmm.
So, so yeah, it could definitely be run in high school because everybody was laughing at me, and then after that Super Bowl in the league, everybody starts running it or their
Right. And
variation of it.
right. And I mean, I was flipping through as you were talking, like your playbooks on my phone, like just kind of how, like you watch college football and if they have a running quarterback and they get the 12 personnel, 13 personnel, it's a lot of the same concepts. Like it's not like
Yeah,
it's something
yeah.
like, oh my
I
gosh,
have
this is
been
so unique. Yeah.
Yeah, I have been dying. I mean, I think we talked the other day. I've thought about just going and camping out at the Cowboys and telling them, "Hey, I have a Philly tush push play that
Right.
will work."
Right. Right.
It's almost as close. Matter of fact, Beast Monkey is the tush push they've been using. We can install this
Hmm.
Beast tank play and it'll
Right.
work. But what I finally feel good is that it's kind of bittersweet in a way. Is that a lot of majority of high schools are running it? Kenny Simpson has put it in his playbook, which you and
Hmm.
I know him well. Uh, he calls it heavy, and so
Hmm.
he tours nationally doing clinics. So if he's decided to add that into his scheme, then he knows something's working, and it's worked for me for so long that I know it works and know that it could work at the pro level, which that Memphis UFL team ran it and they
Hmm.
did it. And like I said, the Beast Monkey version, which is middle, because I
Hmm.
used to call it Loud Rowdy Monkey, is basically the Philly Tush Push little thing
Hmm.
that they do. So I know it works. It's just not popular yet. And
Right. Right.
I think it's coming because there's a wave of everybody. It was like this year, everybody in the world decided to write a Beast playbook. It's quite funny.
I saw that. I noticed that when I was researching. It's yeah, it's interesting to see that on the internet, on the old interwebs, as they say.
Yeah, I think once Memphis Showboats ran it in that UFL game, in a pro game, everybody's like, oh, okay, this is
Hmm.
about to pop.
Hmm. Right.
And so
Right.
it is. And I've been just dying to see it at the pro level. And for
Hmm.
somebody then to mention my name, I mean, that's,
I mean, imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, and I
I
think
said,
that.
yes, I agree. I've said that. And I'm so happy, to be honest. It's bittersweet to me, but I'm so happy that has gotten this popular
Mhm.
because it's my baby and have watched it grow. And I know this must be how other coaches feel when those offenses go off and then everybody's running them. Uh,
Mhm.
it's a good feeling actually to see it occur. So I'm very
Mhm.
happy that it's happening.
Yeah, it's so cool, and this all I told you this. This all stemmed from a player of mine saying, "Hey, coach, look at this beast thing," and I started googling, like, okay, who's the because you can see the different variations of it, right? You can see the
Right.
different people that are running it. But then I saw your stuff. I was like, "Oh yeah, coach is the guy. Like this is
Oh,
the
I
guy I want to
appreciate
talk
that.
to." Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think, looking at your stuff and talking to you, I've always been as a player and kind of as a coach, I'm not really a rah-rah guy. I'm more of that intellectual Bill Belichick kind of study guy. And
Hmm.
so I really kind of go that way. So yeah. And I think it seems like you might be that way yourself.
Yeah, I was never a pregame speech guy. I was
Yeah,
never like a guys. We
yeah,
got to like win one for the Gipper. Like,
yeah, you
no,
probably,
I just never did that. I
yeah.
never did that.
I never like running through the banner as a player either. It's like I'm not gonna waste my energy. I'm waiting until I get on the field.
Yeah, I'll meet you on the sidelines.
Yeah,
I'm not going to like run through it like you guys are. And yeah, I think it's cool when like reading your stuff, getting to know you. it's really neat to see somebody who spent so much time developing something. Like you have developed this system, and that's really neat to see because I mean it's so detailed. And your hat's awesome too, by the way. I love the hat you have on. That's
Oh, I
really cool looking
appreciate
too.
it. Yeah.
The logo you created, the whole thing. Like this is you put your whole self into this, and that's been really really cool to see.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That's very nice to hear. Uh, yeah, it's the system that I created is what I was using and had to do for
Mm,
us to be successful. And so everything that you see in the Power Wing Beast offense and is really came out of games and practices over 2 decades of what we
mm.
were doing. And then, it was my playbook. And then somebody's like, can we buy it? And I'm like, okay, here you go.
That's cool that people are like, "Hey, I want to see it." That's really neat because that shows how good it is. That shows how much work you put into it.
Yeah, yeah, and it's funny because I've gotten a lot of folks here recently because there's been a lot of imitators, and it, this is one thing about the growth of it that's hard to kind of take is people are like, oh, it doesn't work, and then I'm
Oh,
like, well,
my
whose
gosh.
version are you using? And then I'll come out and they're like, well, we're blocking it this way, and I'm like, well,
Mm.
what did it say in the playbook to do? Oh, I don't have your playbook, or I have your playbook. This is what's crazy. I have your playbook, but I decided to change all the blocking.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
I know. I don't understand. I'm like, okay, well, but a lot of the guys in my forums, Beast on Facebook, there's a Beast Offense forum, and there's a youth football coaching youth football forum. A lot of the guys have been running my system are like, don't change a thing because
Right.
it'll
Right.
work. But if you start, making dramatic changes, it doesn't. So, yeah,
Well, it's like McDonald's. Like if you have the franchise, don't mess it up. Like
yeah,
do what it
yeah.
says to do.
I'm old enough where they did mess up the fries for a while, and it took a
They
couple.
did, didn't they? They went away from the
Yeah,
beef tallow and went to the all that
yeah,
other stuff.
yeah. I remember. I was like, oh my god, they had totally screwed up McDonald's from there. But I guess our taste buds have gotten used to the new version of their fries.
Mm, mm,
Their new
that's
version.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's like when you look at your offense and what you've done, I just am so impressed with like the intricacies of it. So like when you read your book and you watch your videos, like you know it inside and out. This isn't like you're an imitator, right? This is yours, and you have learned the ins and outs of it. And that's really neat because that's not something that you see a lot these days, right? People are so quick to switch to something, and you have stayed with it and figured out, hey, what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, yeah. I have that gene in me that is like, I guess I've always been a researcher, weird guy that always wanted to study and research. I was really good at
Mm,
writing research papers in college and in high school. And I'm an INTJ personality, which is this goofy research kind of
mm,
doctor kind of scientist kind of thing. So I really get into the technical weeds. And what helped me, and I don't talk about it much, is Pat Wright in 2007 was in Arvada. He was a coach and he was kicking everybody's butt. And I decided in 2008 to develop that blog that I write at
mm, mhm.
coachparker.org. And I decided to study and start reading everything I could get my hands on. So I started buying like all these used football books from Amazon and learning all these different things that I could add into my office to get better and any, YouTube or whatever. I have really just dove deep into that. So every year I was adding new things up until I got, well, even after I published in 2017 for version 2, is what how can I make it better, and what little things are other people doing in other offenses that I can tweak to make this work even better.
Mm,
So
mhm,
that's just kind of my personality type that I'm going to continue to
mm.
upgrade. And I, if you notice in the playbook, there's like under center and shotgun versions like of all those formations because
Right, right.
as so in Texas, the league I'm in is we basically get a new team every season, and we have 2 seasons, spring and fall. So I have new kids coming in all the time, and we're having to continually juggle the right offense puzzle and the right
Mhm.
defense puzzle. And so you can't have one thing. You have to be, that playbook I can kind of wrap around and match. If you look at it, I can match my roster to that playbook because I have five or
Mhm.
six formations in there.
Mm.
And even on defense, I can do that. So those two books are set up for really any new coach. You can buy those, and basically that should get you through a season with the multiple in there. I see a
Mhm.
lot of competitors, they'll sell one kind of playbook. And if you bought that playbook and you don't have that talent, you've got to go find something else.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, you mean you shouldn't just, like, run what you want and not think of your players? You shouldn't do that, coach? That's not good coaching?
No, no, that's not really. I mean, you can kind of have a system. I mean, I'm always installing the beast. And the reason I probably do that is I found out is if I can't block or run the beast play, I probably can't run anything else.
That's a fact. Yes, that's
Yeah,
well said. That is very
because
well
it's
said.
so simple that if I can't get a playoff in that particular formation in a scrimmage, the first scrimmage, then I have blocking problems.
Mm,
It's really not what offense I'm running. It's There's a much bigger issue. And so
mm,
that what I've always gone to when I do installs or I look at putting offenses in or defense, you want to go simple to sophisticated. So I'm going to
mm,
install something simple that I can run for scrimmages and I can get through the first game. But I'm also going to start installing for the third game and fourth game. But I want to make sure, and the reason I've done that at youth is I've installed like the speed spin stuff that's like a double wing T stuff that I have. And then I'll install like the beast, which will be a separate kind of back that'll run that. And one
mm.
season at 12U, this great quarterback I had, he gets in the second scrimmage. He can't take the snap.
Oh, no.
He's
Gee
afraid of the
whiz.
nose guard.
Oh my gosh.
He fumbles everything. We put that
Mhm,
beast guy in, we kill it.
mhm,
So I'm always making sure that, if I'm running something sophisticated like a gun T hybrid kind of thing, I can still run some base plays out of the beast or a power I version, my power I version, which is in the Power Wing Beast offense, because you just never know. And especially
mhm.
here in Texas, there's so many good coaches. If you run one thing, you're probably shut down.
Yeah, you're in trouble unless you're just that much better. Like, unless
Yeah, yeah,
your
yeah.
roster is
Right,
just that much better than the other team.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you run a double wing against me, I kind of know how it works, and I usually can shut that down. So if that's the only thing you're running, that might be a long day for that offensive coordinator.
Mm, that's awesome. Coach, I think I wanna take what you're doing, and I'm gonna run it at the high school level one of these days. And you're
Man,
gonna, like
I would
I'm gonna
I
be like,
would
"Yeah, let's
fly
go, man. Let's
in.
rock this."
I would fly in and help you install if you really want to do that.
Okay. But then
I would be glad.
we just made a deal here. This is like
Yeah,
Shark Tank. We
no,
just made a deal on the podcast. That's
I'll
awesome.
do it, man. Yeah, I think it would be beautiful. Steve Kalinde, and I've got to give him props. He's a high school coach. He's a great double wing coach. I think you know him from the double wing and his defense. But
Mhm, I
he's the
do.
one that coined the phrase beast back in 2004 in a high school article. There were a lot of us kind of running it, and I was calling it Loud Rowdy Monkey. I had no idea what it was called. Then I found out it was
Mhm,
Yell Single Wing. And then Bruce Ean, who was on Twitter, rest in peace, he said, Steve? Steve's the one that coined the beast. And then we three all started talking. It was weird that we all found out we were in this Delphi single wing group in
mhm,
1994. And
mhm. Oh my
somehow
gosh.
we all commingled together and came out with very similar power offenses that had
Mm,
a beast version in it. I found the beast by accident because I was working for EDS and GM, like I said, and they had given me an Apple luggable laptop, and I bought Playmaker X
mm,
software, which was at the time had just been out a couple of years, and found it. and
Mm.
ran simulations, and it was tearing it up on this computer game. So the
Right.
next day I install it, and we're running it through the season, and then wound up get coach of the year and coaching staff of the year, I should say. And yeah, it's just crazy how it came about. But I would love to come and help you. I know it works because Kalindi's been running it for a while at the high school
Right.
level.
Right.
It's small schools. I think he's actually at a D4, D3 college right now, actually trying to run it.
Oh wow. I got to look that up. I got to Google that after we get off the recording here. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I think someone said OSU ran some plays of it last season.
Yeah. I think back to Oklahoma back in the day had like the belldozer offense and very similar, like snap it to the back to the quarterback, get downhill, run off tackle. Like, yeah, I mean that's
Yeah,
been around for a minute.
I think it's been around, and a lot of people they're always after me about it, and I'm like, I'll say, well, look at Philadelphia, but look at Kansas City running all the crazy plays they run. You know,
Right. Right.
they run crazy stuff too and make up funky names. I had a high school coach tell me, he goes, I like your stuff, but your names are weird. I was like,
Oh my
I
gosh, that's
rename
funny.
plays all the time. These are
Right.
names for kids
Right.
to remember. I mean,
Right.
what do you want me to
Right.
call it?
That's beautiful, man. Oh my gosh, that is so good. Coach, how do people find you? Where do they find you? Where should they go?
Yeah,
All that
I'm
good
all
stuff.
over the place, but the main website I have is coachparker.org. Last season, I developed beastoffense.com. So those are the two main websites you can find me at. And then there's my YouTube channel at coachparker.org. And then I'm on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. I've got a big Facebook page. You can find me there. And then there is a private group and a Beast Offense group there too. So I'm easy to find. You can hit coachparker.org and go from there. And if you can't find anything you can't find anything, hit the contact page, email me. I get back to everybody within 24, 48 hours.
I can attest to that. And I'll put all that in the show notes too. I'll put all your contact information in
Yeah,
there
that'd be
so
great.
people can get at you.
That'd be great.
Coach, thank you for your time. And I know we'll be texting and emailing, and I'm going to look through your stuff more, and I'm sure I'll email you like a list of questions because that's
Yeah,
just kind of
yeah, I'd
how I
love to. I'd
do it.
love
Yeah.
to. And if you do decide to install again, man, I'll be there for you. Love to help you out.
That's what I'm talking about, Coach. I want to take you up on that. I'm serious. I'm
Yeah,
like, hey, Coach, I got this job. Come on down.
I've been meaning to get back up to the New England East Coast area a long time. You're in Maryland, right? Is that where you're at?
I am. You can crab, you can fish, you can hunt geese, you can hunt deer, whatever you
Yeah,
do.
well, that's that. I'm from Texas. That's all. Yeah, that sounds all great, man. Love to do it. It's been a pleasure. Love meeting you. We need to stay in touch.
Oh yeah. You're going to be one of my new texting buddies. I'm going to be texting you all the time. I'm like,
Awesome.
hey, Coach, what about
Anytime.
this?
I love it. I love to talk football. And if you want to come to Texas, please come on down.
Oh man, I have family in Texas, Mesquite. Mesquite is where my
Oh,
dad's
you're
side of
only
the
like an
family's from.
hour away. Yeah, when you're down here, we need to go have barbecue.
That would be fun. I need to go. We need to go visit. We have 5 kids that have never been to Texas and see where like half my family's from. That's cool. Well, thank
Yeah,
you, Coach. I really appreciate you. You're first
yeah.
class.
Thanks, Zach. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.